Carry on from last episode, today we are going to cover part 2 of Search for Tsunade Arc, which will cover from episode 89 to 100, corresponding from chapter 155 to 171 in the manga. So without further ado, smash my intro. Naruto's next goal is to combine spinning from stage 1 of the training with power he learned from stage 2. Orochimaru approaches Tsunade and asks her to heal his seal arm. Tsunade has no intention to help him as he has killed her former teacher, the 3rd Hokage, but Orochimaru has offered an unrefusable deal to her. He would resurrect her brother Nawaki and her lover Dan in exchange of her saving his hand. Orochimaru left her to make up her decision. Once certain, Tsunade is now shocked and really tempted. Naruto and Jiraiya finally find Tsunade and Setsune in a local bar. He immediately rejects the offer and states only Baka wants to become a Hokage. Naruto is absolutely pissed off at her disrespecting his goal and dream. Hence, he challenged her to a battle. The battle, Tsunade is now curious why this young spiky delinquent cares so much about the Hokage title. Tsunade snapped out of her flashback as she sensed Naruto's attack. She then smashed the floor, creating a huge cavitation in the ground and thus neutralized Naruto's incomplete Rasengan attack. Tsunade immediately shouted and rebuked at Jiraiya for teaching Naruto such a difficult ninjas and how he would never be able to master such technique. To answer back, Naruto said he could learn it and bet her that he can master it in only 3 days. Naruto's action reminded her of her most precious individuals once again. So she took the bet. Tsunade is so confident in Naruto unable to master Rasengan, she even extended the deadline to a whole week. If Naruto wins, she would admit that he has the potential to become a Hokage one day, and she would offer him the priceless necklace she has, the very same necklace that was passed down from the 1st Hokage. If he loses the bet, she would take the entire saving of his hard-earned money, aka Gamma-chan purse, aka the very same purse that has more screen time than Tenten. Naruto immediately went to training. Meanwhile, what she is thinking to do could tarnish their action and make their death become void. But Tsunade still can't forget her brother and her lover. Their memory is still flashing vividly in her mind. At the very same time, Setsune approached Naruto and told him about Tsunade's tragic past story of losing her brother and her lover. She then explained that whoever wore those necklaces has resulted in death except Tsunade. A week went by, Naruto was still unable to properly join the first 2 stages of the training. From a distance, Tsunade was watching Naruto training relentlessly, reminding her once again how similar Naruto is to her brother and lover. The day ended with Naruto collapsing on the floor with exhaustion. By the evening, Jiraiya met up with Tsunade. He found out about the deal Orochimaru offered to her and stated he would stop her to help Orochimaru at all costs, even if he needs to kill her. Little did Jiraiya know his drink has been drugged and he has been rendered unconsciously. The following day, Tsunade met up with Orochimaru as promised, and just when she was about to heal his hand, KABUTO showed up and stopped her. KABUTO is a top-class medical shinobi, and he recognized that Tsunade's Hinzutsu is embedded with intention to kill Orochimaru, hence he stopped their treatment. Orochimaru is puzzled at Tsunade's betrayal as the deal he offered was simply unrefusable. Tsunade explained that she will do whatever it takes to see her loved one again, but if she healed Orochimaru, he would go on and destroy the Konoha, the very same village that her brother and lover tried to protect, and she is also being enlightened by Naruto as well. The battle between KABUTO and Tsunade broke out. The legendary SANNIN clearly has the upper hand. Eventually, KABUTO used his superior human anatomy knowledge to overcome this. Then he somehow shocked Tsunade, and just when he was about to deliver the final attack at her, Jiraiya, Setsune and Naruto showed up. KABUTO sliced his hand, bleeding in front of Tsunade. Her fear in blood paralyzed paralyze her. Meanwhile, Jiraiya was battling the fellow legendary Sannin Orochimaru. While Tsunade was recovering from her phobia, Naruto and Tsunade were battling KABUTO. KABUTO then used KABUTO to summon 2 snakes to aid his battle. To combat this, Naruto and Jiraiya tried to summon Gamabunta, but due to the lack of chakra, none of them managed to do so. They ended up summoning Gamma Kenshi and Gamma Tatsu instead. Naruto's chakra was depleted from Rasengan training, and Jiraiya has yet to recover from Tsunade's droop, limiting his power greatly. On the other side, Orochimaru is no different. He could not use any hand signs for ninjas, heavily limiting his true power. So the strongest shinobi at that moment was KABUTO, and he has easily defeated Suzume and Naruto. He walked up to Tsunade and she is still paralyzed by her blood phobia. Just when KABUTO was about to land his final blow, Naruto showed up and blocked his attack, locking him within the attack range. Then Naruto used multiple Shadow Clone technique to generate the spinning motion, while his other hand is concentrating chakra within the blue sphere. Then he lands his ultimate ninjutsu, Rasengan. The A-class Rasengan blasted KABUTO away, flying across the field. Despite KABUTO was constantly using medic ninjas to heal the impact, the damage still outweighs the healing process. Ultimately, KABUTO collapsed onto the floor. However, when Naruto landed Rasengan on KABUTO, he also used the medic ninjas to tear Naruto's muscle apart. The effect has finally showed up, causing Naruto to collapse and start dying. Tsunade used all of his effort to save Naruto. She doesn't want to see another precious person passing away in front of her, and her prayer has finally been answered. Naruto somehow gained consciousness and stated that he has won the bet. Then he falls asleep quickly. Tsunade carefully placed the necklace on Naruto, believing one day he will become the Hokage.
おかげは俺の夢だから最後にもう一度だけあんたにかけてみたくなった。
Orochimaru saw this and realized he will eventually become a threat to him one day, so he decided to kill Naruto here. Orochimaru's attack was shielded by Tsunade. She is determined to save Naruto, and she has decided to accept the Hokage offer. It is her responsibility as the 5th Hokage to protect the village from Orochimaru. Tsunade has overcome her fear of blood, and she has activated Sozo Saisen Jutsu to heal all the damage. She then tried to end the battle with Kitsuse no Jutsu, summoning Kasuyu. KABUTO and Jiraiya saw this, and they also used the Kuchiyose no Jutsu to summon Manda and Gamabunta as well. The symbol of the legendary Sannin has arrived at the battle. Kasuyu and Gamabunta team up to go against Manda. The battle was intense and groundbreaking. Tsunade used her superior inhuman strength to pin Manda onto the floor with Gamabunta's sword. Then she dashed towards Orochimaru and landed the final punch. Orochimaru used his last energy to retreat with KABUTO. A while after, Naruto woke up and found out Tsunade had accepted the offer as the 5th Hokage. He was not pleased with the result, as the 3rd Hokage is way better than her. The two stepped outside to settle this argument. Although Naruto has improved a lot, but the result remained the same, with a slight difference.
いい男になりなよって立派なおかげにな。
Afterward, they set off to go back to Konoha. Episode 97 is basically a filler about Naruto getting kidnapped out of misunderstanding. It is a fairly normal filler episode, not much to talk about. Konohamaru is still sad about his grandfather's death, and he is obviously upset that people are removing his stuff in the office for the new Hokage. He dashed to stop them, but he somehow landed onto Tsunade's chest, having a lucky Haru main protagonist moment. A bit of comedy happened afterward. Tsunade then visits the hospital to heal Sasuke and Kakashi. By the time she reaches Lee, she was shocked at how deeply injured he was. She told him that he will most likely need to end his career as a shinobi. Otherwise, she will need to do an operation on him, and the chance of him surviving the operation is really slim. Lee limped out of the room, and the cruel truth is extremely difficult for him to absorb. Konohamaru is still disapproving of Tsunade as the new Hokage, and he wants to prevent her inauguration. Naruto then talked to Konohamaru and explained that she will become a good Hokage. Konohamaru then decided to see if Tsunade is capable of being the next Hokage with his own eyes. He saw her trying extremely hard to save people, and he is impressed by her healing ability and strength. Finally, he has approved her as the next Hokage, and he also realized that his granddad's memory will never fade away in the Konoha village. At the same time, Lee is still trying to comprehend the full consequences of Tsunade's speech. Sakura saw this and she tried to cheer him up. Guy and Lee met up, and the student-teacher duo start discussing the operation. Lee is scared of dying, but he is more horrified at the fear of not being a shinobi. Guy Sensei sympathizes with Lee, and those two redolence their time together. Guy has decided if Lee has passed away in the operation, he will follow him along, as he could not live in the world without his student. Lee has been inspired by the words of Guy, and he has decided to take the operation, and hopefully he will become a shinobi once again. Tsunade non-stop trying to improve the odds of Lee surviving, and finally, after days of research, she has managed to increase his success rate to 58%. The operation went smooth, and Tsunade successfully became the 5th Hokage after her inauguration. And that concludes the search for Tsunade arc. Once again, a top quality arc. Quite a few important characters are being introduced, like Tsunade and Itachi. Sasuke's story and the genocide of Uchiha clan explain his hatred to Itachi perfectly. Also, Itachi is so damn OP at that time. Finally, Naruto has mastered his classic trademark RASENGAN now. It only took him like 94 episodes. In terms of character development, it is really nice to learn about the last legendary SANNIN, Tsunade's past. And her kissing Naruto in the end is way too wholesome. My favorite character of the arc has to be Itachi. He is just so damn OP in the arc. Kakashi is like a little against him. Naruto had a few cool moments here and there, but overall Itachi is still the best character of the arc. Overall, I would give this arc an excellent score of 8.8 out of 10. An awesome arc, but the filler episode and too much talking and not enough action dropped the quality of the arc down a bit. I hope you weebs have enjoyed this episode. You weebs stay safe and stay blessed. I'm out. Peace!
ダメで2人とも。ラセンガン